There we go. It's a key player alert from Vince. There we go. I love it. And by the way, the man just took off an Atlanta Hawks jersey before he put that suit on. So I would listen to him. He knows Bogey really well. Also, I do want to get to the Lakers part of the equation because you just mentioned them. Lakers president of basketball operations, Rob Pelinka, just got his own deal done for Dennis Schroder, and he spoke about that trade and more in his media availability yesterday. Here is what he said about the Schroder deal. Quote, "He has been a player we pursued not just in this trade deadline, but before. We pursued him aggressively. I think it's easy to fall into complacency when you win a title and just say, hey, let's run it back. But at the same time, I think my school of thinking is always, let's find ways we can become even better. Every offseason, let's get better." And Ramona, this is such an important idea because, yes, you are, quote, running it back. But even with your roster, everyone gets a year older. So that idea of just run it back is never exactly right. LeBron James is turning 36 next month. What kind of turnover can we expect on this roster entering next season?
Well, look, the Lakers have the problem of championship, which is you have to now pay the championship premium. Everybody wants their pound, right? They want their bag of cash. I feel bad for the Lakers in some sense that they didn't get that playoff money. They didn't get that gate money of all the fans attending Staples Center. So usually all the luxury tax you have to pay back to your players when they want to get paid for all their contributions, you don't feel so bad about it. Now, don't feel too bad for them. They still make a lot of money on their cable TV deal. But they've got to pony up a lot of money to keep Kentavious Caldwell-Pope. Okay, they're going to have to pay. They're going to have to pay Avery Bradley, who opted out of his last year. I'm told he wants to stay in LA. He has other offers, but if they offer him a 2-year deal, he would be inclined to stay. Like, in other words, the Lakers have first dibs on him. But a lot of other teams, Golden State, Milwaukee, Charlotte, have interest in him. Dwight Howard is another guy they need to bring back. JaVale McGee opted into his contract. That's $4 million. So if they can keep him there, that's good for them, or they can use him in trades. But essentially for the Lakers, Rachel, they have to keep all their guys, pay a lot more money for the same guys they got at a discount last year, and then they have to go and try to find new pieces that make them better. So they did that with Schroder, and I think they have, they'd like to upgrade again at center, either by bringing back Dwight Howard and JaVale, or some of the other centers on the market. Marc Gasol is a name I've heard, Serge Ibaka, obviously. And they need to replace Danny Green. It's a lot of defense and shooting you just lost.
Well, we all know the cost of winning costs money. I mean, I remember a key player for us, James Posey. We won the championship, and the next year he wanted more money, and we didn't keep him. And I really think that really cost us in the long run, not paying the extra dollars to keep the team together like that. And that's what you're going to see with the Lakers. Although I do think they did upgrade by getting Schroder. Doesn't have the championship experience of Rajon Rondo, but he is a guy who is a key component to OKC this year, going as far as they went and pushing Houston on the brink of elimination. You know, he's a guy who can score the ball a little bit better. He's another ball handler and decision maker that can take pressure off of Bron. And so that's a key pickup for them in trade for Dennis Schroder. So, and we'll have to see how these other pieces fall in place for the Lakers. But that's a great start right there.
Yeah, I agree. Obviously, AD is number one to handle that, which we know that they will. But bringing in Schroder, I think, you know, speed, quickness. You bring in a younger guy who has some playoff experience. Like you said, he does not have Rondo's experience, but at the same time, he's a guy that you can implement into your offense. You can put the ball in his hand, and he can get a bucket. He can make plays. He has a huge impact on the defensive end as well. So, like I said, it's a great start. And bringing in Dwight Howard or finding a center like that, I like a Marc Gasol in there as well. I mean, somebody you can play through and to move the ball and make plays and defensively, or a Serge Ibaka. So I think a great start with Schroder.
Yeah, Rachel, Rob Pelinka's got a tough job. I know he says the enemy of winning is complacency, but it's more than that. It's not just complacency, because they don't even have that luxury. When you look at Dwight Howard, Avery Bradley opted out, KCP opted out, Rondo, and there's a fifth one. Danny Green is gone, and Markieff Morris.
Danny Green.
So you've got all these guys who were key contributors for a championship campaign, whether they did it early in the playoffs, late in the playoffs, in the regular season. These guys were all key contributors for this Lakers team. They all could be gone, right? You talk about Dwight Howard was here on a non-guaranteed minimum. He did his job. Now it's time for him to go back and cash out again. So the reality is, even if they wanted to be complacent, they can't. But I like some of the deals that Vince and Paul and Ramona are talking about. I love the idea of Ibaka there or Gasol Bogdanovic. If they can get him, that's a huge upgrade in terms of someone who's another ball creator, ball handler, and play creator. And that's the other thing about Schroder, going back to that point. What the Lakers were missing or were looking for at some point in the season was that kind of guy. That's why J.R. Smith was a Laker. That's why Deion Waiters was a Laker, right? Ultimately, it turned out they didn't really need it. They had enough to win a championship. But they knew that that was an area of concern that they needed to upgrade in. And Schroder gives them that. Gives them someone who doesn't need LeBron to create his offense for him. And I think that's going to help him.
Look, I mean, you're talking about two-time NBA champion J.R. Smith there when you talk about him. Come on. Look, I love the Schroder pickup. He's feisty. He's been more comfortable with his role this last year, and I'm very interested to see what he's going to do for the Lakers. We'll see what else happens in L.A. Never boring, and never boring in New York either. I love that I can say this sentence. I don't think I've said this sentence in so long. The Knicks did some really smart things this week. Did you hear me? The Knicks did some really smart things. We'll discuss if those moves they made to free up $40 million in cap room is something, nothing, or everything. Stick with us. Story: unrestricted free agent Montrezl Harrell posted himself landing at LAX. Amin, should we interpret this as Montrez coming back to the Clippers?
Who knows? Maybe he's coming back just to negotiate, Rachel. Sometimes you got to just put the scent out in the water, let people know, hey, you know, I could be coming back unless you guys come up with a better offer. So it's a lot of subterfuge going on right now, Rachel. A lot of smoke and mirrors. Ibaka's on a plane. Where is he going? We don't know. Montrezl Harrell's on a plane. He's going to LAX. What does that mean? We don't know. But that's what makes this day so great.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think he's going to return to LA.
Would you sign back in?
Yeah, I think he's going to return to LA. I mean, I think he really found his niche as a Clipper. I mean, winning Sixth Man of the Year since he's been there. He's improved as a player, and he really fits into a lot of things that they do. So hopefully Montrez gets the deal that he likes, and he can remain a Clipper and keep them in contention for a few more years.
I agree with Paul 100%. I think he'll end up staying with the Clippers, and because he brings a lot to their bench scoring, and you can implement him in the starting lineup when need be. Game changer on the defensive end, plays with a lot of energy. That's something you can't replace. So the Clippers losing that would hurt them. So I see them working out a deal.
Well, the Clippers definitely do want him to resign because of their overall salary situation. If he leaves, they don't have a ton of other options. On the other hand, he certainly didn't play great in the bubble, and I don't know if that depressed his value with other teams around the league, and that's going to be to LA's advantage. We will have to see. We'll keep you posted on all the news. Up next, we're also going to discuss the latest with Bogdan Bogdanovic. I never thought I would say Bogdan Bogdanovic so many times in the week of the draft and free agency, but he elected to become a restricted free agent after that trade to the Bucks fell through. We will catch you up on the latest there. Stick with us.
Man, Vince played everywhere. I just forgot.
Oh, look, it's a distant replay.
Oh,
2006 on this date.
No, not on LB. Oh, Monte Ellis on LB. Hey, real talk. When he did this, LB came in the locker room at halftime and said, "Yo, can I watch that video again?" And he's like, "Man, he really dunked on me, huh?"